10 million motorists in SA have limited knowledge about their motor plan. The survey by Motor Happy found that 90% of respondents were not informed about service plans, maintenance plans and warranties. It's hard to believe that, isn't it? 62% had a vague idea when their plan started, and research shows that in some cases their casual dismissal of the fine could cost them a bomb. Many motorists are ignorant of the details of the service plan that come with their new or second-hand cars. Of the 900 motorists surveyed across the country, 38% did not know which plan they have, and 50% do not know. They are unsure of what the plan includes. We spoke to a few motorists about their motor plans, and this is what they had to say.
Oh, what's in my motor plan? It's just an extended warranty for, I don't know, it's like a service plan sort of for anything that goes wrong or whatever.
Not really. I think the only thing I understand is, and what I have is a service. That's all I have, yeah. According to what I know in a service plan, yeah. I mean, in a motor plan.
Okay, now joining me in the studio is Annalene van der Poel from Debt Rescue. Good evening to you, Annalene.
Good evening, Stevie. Thank you for having me.
So you heard what they were saying there. If I get a motor plan, all it means to me is that if something happens in my car, I can take it back to the garage and I don't pay. But more than that, I don't have an idea. But there may be some small writing that I'm aware of.
Very much so,
Yeah.
definitely. I think, Stevie, firstly, motor plan is a very generic term used in the motor industry for various things. So you need to understand what exactly you're covered for, obviously. A motor plan can be anything from a service plan to, like you've been saying, even the warranties, etc. So it's very important that they understand the difference between these various things. Motor plan usually, for most in the industry, refers to the servicing of your vehicle. But even that, there's different plans. You know, some of them will say a 3-year 60,000 or a 5-year 100,000. But you know, it doesn't always cover everything as well. You know, you get your fair wear and tear items that won't be covered, for example. So it's very important that we do understand what the motor plan covers.
You make such a good point, because a couple of years ago I burnt a clutch out, thinking that the motor plan would pay for it, and no, it excluded clutches, brake pads, and discs.
Those are wear and tear items.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yes.
So be very, very careful. Absolutely. And I suppose that when buying a car with a motor plan, also take that into account. Check things like discs and suspension, some of the things that are not covered. And of course clutches are very expensive in a car, and they're not covered.
And there's also where you want to then look towards your warranty, for example, because your warranty might cover other items. Obviously, things like you say, your brake pads, that's a wear and tear item, then they're never going to cover that. But you know, that's where you need to understand what are the potential cost implications for you in the long run when you get to that service where the brakes, for example, will not be covered by the service. If that be the case, what are you potentially looking at spending at that point?
Are we having this explained to us properly, Annalene?
You know what, I think when we're busy with the purchase of a vehicle, whether it be new or second-hand, there's so much excitement around the ownership, taking ownership of this vehicle, that oftentimes it might be explained, but we're not really listening that carefully. But we need to take part of the conversation and also ask the right questions and say, listen, just explain to me, what does this mean? Read that contract. It's always horrible. You know, that fine print's there for a reason.
Yeah.
You need to go through it. You need to ask the questions, because afterward it's too late, and then you might not be covered for something that you had hoped you were.
The onus is also new, though, to really find out about it. You know, if somebody's not going to explain it to you, be a bit proactive.
Absolutely.
Find out exactly what is included. What's the difference between a warranty and a motor plan? That's important, eh?
Definitely, very much so. I mean,
because a warranty doesn't really cover that much, does it?
no, well, the warranty will cover probably
The factory parts, yeah.
the factory parts, and those can be very expensive,
Yes.
obviously. But your motor plan will most likely cover your services.
Your services,
but
yeah.
those these days are just as expensive.
Yes.
So you know there's benefits in obviously having a motor plan if you can afford it. But but that gets loaded at the beginning of your initial contract when you purchase it. So
Yeah.
it saves you to a degree where you're financing it in essence. But when the time comes to have the vehicle serviced, at least there's not that cash outlay at that point.
I heard a horrible story the other day that your service station, if they see something big under motor plan, they don't fix it. They wait for the motor plan to expire.
That's
And
not
then
good.
they'll show you
That's
that
not
all your
good at all.
discs are about to go and your gearbox
Yeah.
must be replaced.
Sure.
And that all they do during the interim is just patch it up so it doesn't collapse completely. I don't know. I can't believe it. I don't think we are. And then we're out of time, but thank you so much.
Thank you for
So
having me.
check out your motor plan, your warranty, your service.
T's and C's.
Yeah, make sure you have a full service history. Otherwise, you won't sell that car. People won't buy
Very
it.
much, definitely.
Yeah, I nearly bought a car recently. Didn't have books. That's
Sure.
it. Still things like books. I wouldn't buy the car.
No.
You can't get the books.
It's an important part of the sale, definitely.
One of the most important.
Very much.
And a spare key.
Very much so.
All right, Annalene, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.